Hello and welcome to another interview for the InTheStudioUK Podcast, hosted by Adam and myself, Chloe. On this episode, Adam spoke to Chris Pidsley about recording his music in lockdown and his recent single that dropped this Friday. Make sure to like, subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss an episode. Take it away, Adam.
Hello and welcome. This is the InTheStudioUK Podcast. I'm joined this week by Chris Pidsley. How are you today, mate?
Hey man, yeah, I'm good. Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. So, for people who may not have heard your music, and the unfortunate few, tell us about yourself. What kind of stuff you do?
Yeah, so I'm a solo musician. I'd say I probably play sort of like indie pop kind of genre, sort of a bit of sad boy angst in there as well. It's mainly sort of acoustic-y kind of stuff. But recently, sort of the recent release, I'm doing a little more sort of a kind of full band kind of sound, so sort of having a bit of fun with it, to be honest.
Yeah, cool. So how did everything, because you've been performing and writing music for a while now, how did everything start out in terms of music for you?
Yeah, so I started playing guitar at school when I was 11, and I think it's after I watched School of Rock, and I was oh yeah, this is it now, I'm going to be a rock star from age dot. Obviously it didn't turn out that way. But yeah, I've been playing guitar since then, and then I started writing songs when I was 16, about the time that hormones hit. No correlation.
What wannabe Jack Black was ready to go?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then I sort of started gigging when I got to uni, sort of did some open mics and gigs around there, and then just since moving to London, just tried to do the same really until lockdown hit and kind of put a stop to that.
Yeah, we won't dwell on that too long. But yeah, so obviously you just said you're in London at the moment, but I believe you're originally from Gloucestershire, is that correct?
Yeah, originally from Gloucestershire, Stroud area, that kind of place. So,
well,
yeah.
I have to say, listening to your music, because I've obviously been looking into your good self and been listening to a lot, and you do definitely get, in a field, in the sunshine kind of vibe from a lot of them. Would you say, so you influence your music a lot then?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the different things influence different songs, to be honest. I mean, I've got a song called Berryhead, which is based on a place in Torquay. I went on holiday, and I sort of wrote that one based on a bench that I found, because it was dedicated to this old couple. It was their favourite spot in the world, and I thought that's quite nice. So that one was kind of very much inspired by sort of nature. And yeah, just the sort of sunshine, summer feels, to be fair, inspire a lot of my music, because I want it to be happy, I want it to be fun, I want it to be something you listen to when you're outside in the sun.
Yeah. So, I mean, to talk about, what you have songs based off, just generally your influences, from what I can gather, you have a very kind of broad range. I've seen covers from your good self, from One Direction to Olivia Newton-John, which is fantastic. So, kind of, when you're actually writing your music, what, have you had any big bands or artists influence how you make your own stuff?
Well, since sort of having to sort of record and write from my bedroom, I've looked into artists that do similar things or are mainly self-produced, or at least started off that way. So like people like Rex Orange County, Cave Town, all these people that sort of record and write from their bedrooms are a big inspiration to me. And then in terms of sort of what I write about and how the song forms, is really what kind of thing I'm listening to that month does tend to inspire it. I mean, I'll be listening to sort of 1975 and I'll write sort of a similar kind of poppy kind of thing, or I'll be listening to something a little more morose like Bon Iver and I'll want to write more sort of introspective kind of reverb heavy things there. But yeah, definitely those artists inspire that for me.
I'm glad you brought up, obviously, recording at home with everything going on, because I think I read you said Quirky was one of your first ones you recorded from home. I think I heard. How did you find doing things from home in comparison to obviously how you'd normally record a song?
Well, the thing is, I've never recorded a song other than in my bedroom, because I started when lockdown hit. So I thought, well, I'll use this time, I'll write and record, and I bought sort of Logic and I tried to sort of work my way around it. I'm not very well versed in Logic at all, really, to be honest. I mean, I use it to record and arrange, and I have a producer friend of mine, Ross, who does help out with a lot of my songs and gives them a little touch at the end of it to make it actually sound decent, not just a wall of noise, which I'm sure is what it starts off with. But it's good because you have a sort of sense of freedom. You can do whatever and you can spend as long on it as well. You're not limited by like a budget or studio time or, you know, even times a day. You know, anytime you just get up and just do it. There's definitely freedom in that, but just a sort of a bit of a lack of skill on that thing. But it's definitely good fun to experiment with.
Just taking a quick break here to introduce Chris's most recent single. Hope you enjoy it and stick around afterwards for the rest of the interview.
I'm Chris Pidsley, and this is my newest song, Alex's House.
Maybe I shouldn't be vindictive for no reason.
Had to move to the city, had to get away, living corner to corner since my very first day. You had a room in your house, told me that I could stay. You were off to New York, or was it LA? I told you it was for the weekend, and now I'm living with your best friend. Am I getting in the way? I'm moving to the West End, but I can't afford the best end, so I guess I'll have to hang around until you found it. Living it rent free and forever. 18, not the wisest. Still elements of a teenage mindset. Easier to explain fears away. Aim big like the ocean. Elevate my dreams in motion, even though I can't expect to stay. Recently I'm moving out again. Put a stitch in your bed when it made it. Thought I'd add to the rest. You can save it if you like. And I headed north from the Baron's courts, but I took the lonely path, walking through the graveyard. I told you it was for the weekend, and now I'm living with your best friend. Am I getting in the way? I'm moving to the West End, but I can't afford the best end, so I guess I'll have to hang around until you found I'm living it rent free and forever. 18, not the wisest. Elements of a teenage mindset. Easier to explain fears away. Aim big like the ocean. Elevate my dreams in motion, even though I can't expect to stay. Not the wisest. Elements of a teenage mindset. Easier to explain fears away. Aim big like the ocean. Elevate my dreams in motion, even though I can't expect to stay. 18, not the wisest. Elements of a teenage mindset. Easier to explain fears away. Aim big like the ocean. Elevate my dreams in motion, even though I can't expect to stay. Recently I'm moving out again.
Talking about, obviously, recording and all this stuff. Last month you came out with a listening party, I believe. So
Yeah.
there's obviously not a lot of live stuff coming out at the moment. So it was definitely, I was quite unexpected to see that. How did that come about? What inspired you to do that? Tell us, what happened?
So that was through a promoter that I've used since moving to London, Hotvox. and they came up with this listening party series that they recorded the sessions down at Cargo Rooms, which is about a 2-minute walk from me in Tottenham.
Right.
And it sort of came to me with this idea and said, yeah, we're doing this series, and I thought, well, that's good, I'll have some content from that, and that'll be something to put out there as well, seeing as I haven't sort of played a gig in ages. And it's really good, and they obviously obeyed all the safety procedures at the time. I think it was December, end of last year, or November when we filmed it, so there's other rules in place that we all adhered to. Yeah. But it was really good, yeah, just sort of just went in, and they sort of got all this stuff set up, and sort of amazing sound guys and what have you, and recorded the 5-song set, and then they gave the sort of raw footage along with that. And then the sort of thing they set up with that was this reward system and a scheme where people who watch it then can donate to you as an artist as well how much they want, and in return they get these different rewards and like signed set lists or songs written about you or what have you. So yeah, and it was a really good thing they set up for that.
Yeah, I mean, what was it like? Because obviously performing it live, there was no crowd there or anything. Was that? I know. What was that like? Different?
Yeah, it was a bit. Obviously, like I'm playing sort of to a camera, and it's a bit hard when you can't gauge sort of reactions of anyone from it. So it was a bit nerve-wracking really, because there was sometimes a little more pressure than it would have been playing in front of people for some reason. Yeah. But it's strange. But yeah, I mean, even when I play my gigs, it's very few people in the audience anyway, so it wasn't that much. It wasn't that much stuff away. Yeah.
Fair play. So speaking of recording and new music, I believe you've got something coming out quite soon. In fact, I should say that by the time this comes out, it will have just come out a couple of days before it, actually, I think.
Yes. So yeah,
what's this about?
This is a new one. This is sort of one, like I was saying before, I've gone a bit of a departure for me in terms of sound. I've kind of gone for this sort of big kind of guitar band sound, listening to a lot of Vaccines recently. I'd say that's sort of influencing it, if you're fans of that. And this actually stemmed from what I mentioned before, this rewards thing with my listening party. A friend of mine got the reward of a song written about them. And I wrote it about how I spent 2 weeks living at hers when I was just sort of moving to London and still trying to settle in. And she said, I've got a room, come stay here for a bit while you sort of find places. And initially it was just sort of going to be a bit of fun. I was going to write it, just going to send it to her. I was like, oh, here it is, I hope you enjoy. But when I was writing it and sort of getting the melody and stuff, I started to really like it and sort of developed from there. And I had a lot of fun writing the lyrics because they're all full of sort of little in-jokes and stuff between me and her. And the result of it was like, oh, this is pretty good. I might just release this. Yeah. So yeah, it's been really fun.
How long have you been working on that then?
I think I started writing it at the start of this year, in January, and then sort of been recording it throughout up until this point. I'd sort of recorded it all myself, apart from the drums, because I can't play the drums to save my life. Luckily, I have
That's fair.
Yeah, I've got a good mate who does play drums exceptionally well. So he managed to sort of record them remotely and send me the files, which is great. But yeah, so I've been working on that sort of better past the first part of this year. So yeah, it's been really good fun to do.
How did you find working with other people? Because obviously you're a solo artist. So I guess, do you enjoy working with other people in your music if you can?
I do, because like I'm sort of very limited in what I can do. I like to think I can do everything, but I really can't. And working with other people is great because they bring something you never expect to a project. I'm always sort of worried when you've got an idea in your head and it's your baby and you want it to be exactly what you think. And it's hard to stem from that thinking because you haven't allowed yourself. There's no other like sort of external opinion, so you're sort of almost a little bit protective of it. But then when someone comes in and makes it better, you think, oh, it's obviously great. So definitely trying to sort of collaborate more in the future as well and bring in more sort of talent and a different.
As you say, it's a tricky balance though. As you say, it's your baby a bit, isn't it? So I can imagine it's interesting listening to other people wanting to change it on. So we were talking earlier about kind of live gigs. I mean, you've been played at BBC Introducing in Devon. You've played Camden Assembly and things like that. Is there any gig particularly that you played that stands out for any reason?
I would say the Camden Assembly gig for me, because I was sort of in this sort of playing gigs that sort of whatever came up really, and this one came up through Vox, and I knew the venue because I'd seen a gig there before, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. I'd love to play there.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really anticipating the crowd there because an artist on the bill that was sort of headlining was quite popular and had a lot of fans come down from wherever and sort of went on the stage, you know, with sort of set list written on the hand, sort of whatever, here we go. Like these whole crowd of these people here for him, and it was quite daunting, but it was a great experience to do for sure. And I had like a whole like green room, and there was like it was years. I was like, what's this going on? That was really good. That was through Hotbox again, this promoter I mentioned, so they're really good at that. And it was, I think it was Watch as well.
Yeah, how did you find playing to a large crowd? Because obviously you're saying normally it's quite chilled out music you do. I can imagine it's quite a mellow kind of vibe. What was it like playing to a large crowd?
Yeah, like you said, it's quite daunting, but it's also at the same time, I mean, like, once you get past the first song, it's quite nice to have a reaction to it. And like when you finish, it's not like an awkward silence before someone claps. So it's quite nice. Yeah, it was definitely a bit of an experience I want to try and replicate when I get back to gigging.
Cool. Yeah. Well, hopefully soon. And if any of our listeners say if they do make it to one of your gigs, as we say, hopefully, fingers crossed soon. What drink should they buy you after the gig? Because obviously they will be buying you a drink. So.
I'm always one for gin and tonics, which is expensive taste in London, not gonna lie, especially when you're like, I might as well double, but then you realise it's always 20 quid. But
20 quid.
Then something for them.
Fair enough. Have you got any gigs planned out this summer, or not yet?
Nothing yet at the moment, but plan to get on that as soon as I can, and sort of when I can work out when's best I can do it, and the roadmap allows and all that.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll figure it out. Well, thank you, Chris. It's been great having you on the show. And so hope everyone can go see you soon and all this good stuff. Give Alex's House a listen on Spotify and everything. It will be in the links underneath this podcast. I've been Adam Brown, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Make sure to support us and follow Chris with all the links in the caption below. See you for another episode in 2 weeks' time.